To quote the author Amy Bloom, marriage is not a ritual or an end. It is a long, intricate, intimate dance together, and nothing matters more than your own sense of balance and your choice of partner. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Laurence Daniel Tate, do take thee, Rebecca Mabel Duerden, to be my lawful wedded wife. For today, tomorrow and always. Thank you. So yourself, Ricky. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Rebecca Mabel Duerden, do take thee, Laurence Daniel Tate, to be my lawful wedded husband. For today, tomorrow and always. We have the first of our readings this afternoon, so would Rachel Metcalf like to come forward to read I'll Be There For You by Louise Cudder?
I'll be there, my darling, through thick and through thin, when your mind's in a mess and your head's in a spin, when your plane's been delayed and you've missed the last train, when life is just threatening to drive you insane, when your thrilling whodunit has lost its last page, when somebody tells you you're looking your age, when your coffee's too cool and your wine is too warm, when the forecast said fine but you're out in a storm, when your quick break hotel turns into a slum, and your holiday photos show only your thumb, when you park for 5 minutes in a residence bay and return to discover you've been towed away, when the jeans that you bought in hope or in haste just stick on your hips and don't reach around your waist, when the food you most like brings you out in red rashes, when as soon as you boot up the bloody thing crashes. So my darling, my sweetheart, my dear, when you break a rule, when you act the fool, when you've got the flu, when you're in a stew, when you're last in the queue, don't feel blue, because I'm telling you, I'll be there.
Thank you, Rachel. Laurence, please take after Both made the declarations prescribed by law and have made a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your family and friends gathered here especially for you two today. On the authority of the Registrar General, it therefore gives me the greatest of pleasure to declare that you are now joined together in marriage. You may kiss your beautiful bride.
The sweetest story that's ever been told lies in a slim circle of gold, joining you two as husband and wife to share the joys and the sorrows of life. For rich or poorer, in sickness and health, your marriage can yield up a wonderful wealth of memories to treasure and hopes to renew, all part of the promises made by you two. With faith in each other and love as your guide, as long as forever you walk side by side, and the shining reminder of how much you care will lie in the little gold band that you wear.
This is a poem that is special to Laurence in memory of our dad, Steve. I'm reading it today so that he's part of our celebrations. If, by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good, careful, nor look too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stood and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to service your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Put on then compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness and patience, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against the other, forgiving, as the Lord has forgiven you. And above all, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony.
Now it's official.
I promise to care for you more than I care for our lawn.
I promise to include you in many of my 400 monthly plans.
I give you Mr. and Mrs. T. Give you Mr. and Mrs. T.
Rita interrupt us, just I'm constantly on the curve. I'm trying to kiss you, but I don't know if you feel the same as only we could be together.
The upstanding from Mr. and Mrs. Tay! What is Becky's favourite thing about Laurence? Is it A, his personality, or B, his ass? Okay, is it his personality or his sweet, sexy douche? Let's have a look at that in lights, Laurence. Yeah, there it is. And you can see a lot of the personality coming through by how he shakes his ass, so that's a complex question. A, personality, that's right hand in the air. B, ass, that's left hand in the air. The correct answer is a bit reductive, but you said it just before we stacked it. You said ass, Becky. So right handers sit down, left handers with ass. Let's see. Wow, you're doing well, my friend. You're doing very well. How many have we got left? Just these people at the end. Alison here. Okay, how are you feeling about it? You want to justify that?
I'd like to say, before the stag do, I was asked what his best feature was, and I didn't think personality was an option, guys. But it's always rather nice.
Well, terrible excuse for objectifying my friend. And I will do too, because he is damn sexy. But not as sexy as his soul. Why is it that you're going against the grain so confidently?
I didn't know.
Sorry?
Didn't know.
You didn't know they were going on honeymoon at all? Okay, that's addressed. Do you think of yourself as a kind of a renegade? Someone who goes against the grain a bit?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. He's a punk, he votes green, and he doesn't give an F. There it is. Wonderful man. He said Portugal, and he's absolutely incorrect. The right answer is Spain. Give yourself a round of applause if you're still here. God, this is getting so tense, Matthew. So we start with Keith.
Hello, welcome everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Keith, or in Rebecca's case, I'm affectionately known as Papa. A few of the guests travel a considerable distance, so I'd like to extend a cordial welcome to the following people. are members of Laurence's family who both live and work in town. Ben, who is a friend of Lawrence, now resides in Canada. Dan, sorry, I said, why did I put Ben? Sorry, I do apologise. Sorry, spoke out over it. Jeff has not been known Becky since senior school in Guy. She now lives and works in New Zealand. May I say that the ladies look magnificent in their wedding finery. The blokes screwed up well. As human beings, we all have idiosyncrasies, me included. Becky dislikes running water, ticking clocks, people chewing gum, and tapping feet.
And the rest.
Imagine my surprise when she announced that she was going to study at Manchester University with the end goal of becoming a history teacher. I speculated how she would cope with a class of 30 pupils. An example of one of her dislikes was when her mum accompanied her to a dental hospital in Manchester. After speaking to the receptionist, she took a seat awaiting her procedure. Above her was a large clock. She promptly stood up on the seat, took the clock down from the wall, and handed it to the staff receptionist, saying, "This clock is ticking too loud. When my appointment is over, I will collect it and put it back in." She always involves herself and is 100% committed to any task she takes on. Pre-COVID, the academy she attends has an annual trip to the battlefields of World War II. Initially, she assisted in the organisation of the itinerary. When the lead person stepped down, Becky took on the role of booking, planning and organising future trips. And on one occasion, on a small stretch of private road, she even took the wheel of the coach and drove just a short distance.
That does not leave this room.
Stop the camera.
That's bad.
At school, she is ever involved with the pupils who undertake their Duke of Edinburgh Awards. In addition, she participates and coaches netball in and out of school. It cannot have escaped your attention that my daughter likes taking photographs. At the beginning of her teaching career, this was no exception. She would send her mum numerous photos of herself with work colleagues, both in a working and social environment. Women being more intuitive of the species, her mum spotted something in the photos that I had missed. She said, "Have you noticed anything unusual?" To which I replied, "No." She observed that whilst all of the photos mainly consisted of females, Laurence wasn't ever present in the majority of them. She concluded, therefore, in her own words, something is going on between them. How prophetic her words turned out to be. Laurence is a stabilising influence in her life. He tries his best to keep her calm and her feet placed firmly on the ground. He portrays a person who is gentle, considerate, and has a loving nature, and I'm delighted he is now my son-in-law. A demonstration of his kindness and thoughtfulness occurred at her twin sister's wedding last September. I'd wandered over to the car to put something in the boot. Laurence had followed me. He said that having attended the wedding, the day's proceedings had prompted him into the idea of marriage. He had, at that time, reached time scale, but he asked me my daughter. I replied, I would be delighted to have him as a son-in-law. At Christmas time, the all-important question was asked, and they became engaged, which has led us all being in attendance today. My own marriage lasted 32 years and sadly came to an abrupt end due to illness. If I were to give the happy couple any advice, I would say the following. Number one, compromise. You can never have your own way all the time. Two, be prepared to say sorry and admit you can't be right all the time. If you have an argument, settle it before you go to sleep. Finally, don't let married life drift. We tend to get complacent the longer the marriage goes, so always communicate regularly and let your partner know your true feelings. Finally, I would like you to be all upstanding and raise a toast to the bride and groom.
Okay, to the next stage. Thank you, Keith, that was excellent. Over to Laurence. So, we did it. Mr. and Mrs. Tate. So, for those of you that know me well, you know I thrive on public speaking, so I'm very excited to do this. I tried to repeat myself loads and loads, same phrase, that's fantastic, all that kind of stuff. Try not to do that all the time. But to be fair, if I can get through this without stumbling over my words, without crying, without doing anything embarrassing, then we're all happy, we're on to a winner. Benchmark, Mr. Scott said at his wedding, longest speech. If you know, you know. If I don't do that, that's kind of a good idea, but my bladder probably won't let me do that anyway, so that's kind of alright. So, here goes. It's great to see all of you here, and thank you so much for being part of our special day. My wife and I are delighted to spend So doesn't she look absolutely stunning? We had joked about whether I would be looking down the aisle as she came, would I be at the front, would I be turning around? I'm certainly absolutely delighted that I did turn around and see that moment. That's a moment that we'll never see again. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. And special mentions to the bridesmaids, all looking great, and the groomsmen looking suitably dapper. The benchmark was as good or as smart as Banyan, and have they made the grade Banyan? Did they all look smart enough? So, for those of you that didn't see, that was the sorry guys, there we go. So it's lovely to have such a wide range of special people with us today, workmates, friends, and all of you here. It's great that you are here. Today has been a while in the making, but not quite as long as some people, some couples might have. Many of you know we got engaged last Christmas. For those of you that got that correct, I think most of you did. Well done. In the little quiz that Robin did. Obviously, Christmas engagements and proposals have got the kind of tendency to make or break at Christmas. But seeing as we are all here, that obviously has made Christmas, so that's good. So, positive. So it might be a little bit of an understatement that Becky is quite impulsive, as Keith has kind of mentioned already. So she gets on with things quite quickly if she knows what she wants. Perhaps the flip side of that is I maybe mull things over a little bit more. I may potter too much, I think too much about things. But needless to say, Becky was on with booking things to go and visit places on Boxing Day. So literally Boxing Day, we were there going to look at different places. So after looking around a fair few different places, we did look at other places.
It was the day after Boxing Day.
What?
It was the day after
Don't
Boxing Day.
remember speaking. So yeah, we look round at different places, and we settled on here. And obviously, it is an incredible venue. We walked in, and it was just amazing to come in. And we were very lucky that the day was available. Becky did want to go earlier, which would have been insane because it was hard to get ready for this day. But we got this day, and that's great. And thank you so much to Sophie, Izzy, Michelle, and the team. It's been amazing that we've been able to get things running as smoothly as they have done today. So massive thank you to, I can't actually see any of them at the minute, but thank you. Hopefully you can hear me. Thank you very much. So one of the benefits of coming here is that we were able to sort out all of the decorations ourselves. There are some things that obviously come as part of the venue, but we were able to do a lot of the things ourselves. So one of the examples, I'm certainly not going to go through everything that we have done, but the name places, they've all got your names on. We've printed all of those. Mrs. Tate has done that. And they're seed paints, and hopefully when you plant that, you get a nice array of wild flowers in your gardens to remind yourself of others. Which is good. No lost property as well, we've got the name on it, so that's good. And as is tradition, obviously I've got a few thank yous to do as we go through today. I've realised that I've got some sort of like revision cards here for like GCSEs or exams or anything. There we go. Firstly, a huge thank you to Keith and all of the Judans, and Jude Jans, I felt so welcomed into your family, and it's so good I can now officially be part of it. And I know that this last 10 months has been particularly challenging, but the strength that you've all shown has been admirable. Maddie, your constant positivity in helping everyone is infectious. Keith, your strength of character over the past years has been something to behold. My sister-in-law, Rachel, your love and your support you've shown through little texts and countless other little things is really appreciated. I love you so much. And Livy, well, to quote Mrs. Tate, you are the cutest, even though you are eating your dad's time. Enjoy it. Hopefully the food was okay as well, but there we go. I think obviously now it's important to recognise those people that are not with us today. Hopefully you will see as you come in this afternoon pictures that we put up. Pauline, Becky's mum, was absolutely brilliant. What a lovely human being. She didn't hold back in her encouragement, shall we say, for me to pop the question. We got there, Pauline. It was good. She was always so interested in what Becky and I were getting up to. And I just hope that I can live up to your expectations for your beautiful daughter. Grandma Margaret, what a legend. Her cheeky little comments were a nice little indication that there was a little tick, or perhaps more of a bigger tick, that me and Becky would be a goer in her mind. She was very complimentary of our relationship, which was great. Many of you will also know that my dad, Steve, who was a central part of growing up with myself and my sister Vic, he left us too soon, and there have been so many different times throughout my life that I wanted him to be part of. I wanted to share things with him and talk to him about stuff, but obviously today is a massive thing that he's not part of, which is obviously very sad as an understatement. But he continues to be a hugely positive influence on me. And that's not least of which because of all the conversations that I'm still able to have with Mum and with Tom as well, my amazing stepdad, my Auntie Alison, my Auntie Sue. He is an incredibly positive influence on me, even though he's not been with us for a significant amount of time. And as Vic shared in the ceremony, the poem "If" is something that I have taken quite a lot of strength from at different points throughout my life. And there's no particular reason as to why that came into me knowing about that poem, but there's a lot of things in there that life goes up, life goes down, and we all experience those different things. And I think that it's really important that you try and roll with those different things that life shows you, life challenges you, and try and stay level with stuff. And I think that poem really tries to show that in its way, different ways that it says. Thank you so much to Vic for reading that. Obviously, well I say obviously, many of you in the family will know my hilariously funny Nana Olive and my grandma. They were like a double act of hilarity. when they were around, and their zest for life and their love and infectious enthusiasm lives on in everything that we do. And my uncle Guy as well, he was a constant source of encouragement and support and advice in lots of different things that we did and we tried to do as part of our careers or whatever it was, and he's been a real drive in what we do. So a little toast now, if we can raise our glasses please, and repeat after me is the way. So to absent friends and family. So, anyway, I wanted to make special mention to my mum, Jeanette, and Tom. You guys are absolutely amazing. What a week you guys have had. You provided such a wholesome experience for all of us growing up. And I know myself, Vic, Alison, Chris and Jenny, we've often reflected on how brilliant you have been throughout our lives. The time that you put in to us, whether it's ongoing support, special days, holidays, whatever it is that you've done, it continues even now. Our family grows, and you continue to do all of that thing. Our wonderful nieces and nephews who are all here today, it's absolutely amazing. And I think certainly with Ben and Scotty now having families and other work friends who have got families, we fundamentally appreciate how much that was a huge deal that you did that. So thank you so much for what you did for us as young children, but also now. So thank you. And Becky and I are truly grateful for everything that you do for us. We've loved coming to see you on some of your adventures while away on holiday. Mum, you are an ever-present source of love, support and encouragement in whatever I have done. Whether it's encouraging to revise for exams with my revision cards, I probably didn't make enough of those, which is why you have to encourage me so much. Whether it's supporting you playing football, little tweaks to items of clothing, trousers, case in point. I'm sure there were plenty of times when I maybe wasn't as easy as I could have been, perhaps as children, but ultimately, without being too big-headed, I think I'm kind of doing all right.
You were wonderful.
But I genuinely, I couldn't get anywhere close to saying how much you've done within this, so thank you so much. You are incredibly valued, incredibly loved in everything that you are, and I love you so much. Special mention to Tom as well. You've been a constant father figure in so many different parts of my life, and you are a true friend, genuinely a true friend. We could go for a beer, we could do gardening, we could mow the lawn together, we could how exciting, what a life, it's great. But if we could genuinely search for a definition of what a perfect stepfather would be, you would be it. So thank you so much for being you. Bridesmaids and groomsmen. Don't the bridesmaids instill it? Genuinely do. You are certainly more organised than I was in your outfits. I was, I bought my shirt 3 days before the wedding, and did a couple of suit changes. Yeah, you were significantly more organised than me, so BD masterclass, I think, in that regard. Rachel, Jess, Bex and Vic, you've all supported Becky through lots of different things, whether it's getting ready for the day or getting ready for lots of different things in life generally, it's brilliant that you are here as significant others in the sense of being important on the day. All of you are important, but you guys are significantly important. You've been crafting, you've been setting up, you've been here. Special mention to Jess. Where's Jess? Jess is over here. Hello Jess. Thank you, and obviously for Aaron as well for coming all the way from New Zealand. What a journey that is, and that is certainly something that doesn't go unnoticed that you've come so far. Another special mention to my sister Vic. Aside from when we were little, I think we probably did argue. Yes, I am looking at you because it'd be weird if I'd be looking over there. We literally never argue. We never argue, and it's. I do, and it's irrelevant whether you do or not. We have an incredible relationship. We've got this core understanding that I do think is pretty rare, and I value your opinion, your support, and everything about you so much. Thank you for being my amazing, beautiful little sister. So, bridesmaids. I'll get you a beer later, it's fine. So, bridesmaids, another little toast to the bridesmaids. It's quite nice to do little toasts. You get like a dry mouth. Not that I didn't want to. Now, groomsmen. That's a different story. So many different stories.
Don't worry, we'll mention them.
I'm sure. Just a word to the wise, codes that I'm going to be displaying throughout the groomsman's speech after swing. So, shaking my head. That didn't happen. They're making it up to bulk out the speech. Hand on forehead. They're making it up. That didn't happen. Including it to bulk out the speech. Laughing along, smiling, nodding. They're lovely, great friends. I'm so glad that they were here and they were able to make a speech. Obviously, up to you to decide whether it's accurate or not. You can decide that for yourself. But in all honesty, though, boys, you are absolutely amazing. Dan, you've come all the way from Vancouver. Thank you so much for that. That in itself genuinely means so much. Jess, all of you that have come so far, that is a big deal. You could have sent a text and said, good luck. You didn't. You came here. Yeah. Good. No, so genuinely mean that. You know, you've been an ever-present person throughout my life. We played basketball together. Sunny delight 3-on-3. Beautiful time. Becky and I went up to Vancouver to see Dan on our holidays a few years ago. Went to Whistler together, and of course, given that you ended up in hospital, it just proves that we are the more astute, extreme sports people. We love it. So there you have it. Don't do a Scotty and miss out thing. Robin, what a guy. Comedian Robin, apparently. What a guy. You are, your get up and go for things is inspirational. You are a force to be reckoned with. Some people call you leader. That wouldn't be me. It might have been me. But, you know, you are genuinely in your element performing, aren't you? And it's great hearing all the different things that you get out of work. Such an entertaining, lovely guy to be around. It was a friendship that started in school history lessons, a link to BD there. In particular with Mrs. Savage, we used to sit next to each other in history lessons. And I've genuinely always admired your intelligence. That's not something that's new to you. I've said to you about that. I get quite gushing, as many of you know, and I've had a few orange juices, and show lots of love towards people. And Robin, yeah, you are a cracking guy. I think the first time you met Becky, you rocked up on a night out, one of the first times, in a leather jacket with some sort of like cowboy tassels on, and you were like swinging them around like some sort of maverick. It was great, it was a strong look. Benjamin, the man, the myth, the legend. You've got this unique skill to combine a demeanour of a cool, laid-back individual with a limited understanding of the concept of time or a diary. It's something to behold. Katie is nodding. It wouldn't matter whether Ben was 5 minutes late or 5 hours late. For those of you that played football with Ben, said, oh, Ben will turn up at this time. Ben will not turn up at that time. Ben will turn up whatever time Ben turns up, and he will still swagger in with his head back, just like chilled out. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into like character assassination of Ben, because you are a genuinely amazing guy. He's a fantastic footballer, a great dancer, and an even better friend. You are an absolute legend. Repetition of phrases. In the same form of school, sharing the football pitch with you throughout junior football and beyond, there's all of my special memories of the things that we have done together. And thank you for being you. You are a cracking a sandwich maker. As when I was in year 11, he made a huge meat-along sandwich for me for my birthday in year 11. Subway footlongs, we've got nothing on the massive baguette that you have. No. Anyway, we will have the delight of sharing a dance floor with Benjamin Bailey later on, hands in pockets, shoulder dance, whatever that may be. Which leads me on to, there we are. Scotty, groomsman in chief and best man, thank you for all that you do. You are literally the glue that keeps all of us boys together. We meet up, we do things, and that wouldn't necessarily happen. And this isn't anything about Dan, Robin, and Ben. We all know, we've all said this, that things that we do wouldn't happen if it wasn't for what you do and the effort that you put into that. So we all really appreciate that. You are a gem. You arranged a stag do, micromanaged to the T. It worked. It was brilliant. It was great. So thank you for that. You've arranged countless holidays, things that we've all done. Over the years, you have been a shoulder to cry on. You've been somebody that I've been able to offload to. You've been somebody that just listened to things that I've needed to talk about. So, a counsellor, an advisor, a teammate, a cameraman, which is probably part of what you might talk about. You are very much appreciated by all of us as lads. So thank you for everything that you do. Love you, mate. Of course, it's no, that's a miss. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I put the wrong one down. It would be wrong of me not to mention our wonderful friends from work. Manor is such an important place for who we are as individuals. As me being gushing, probably you all know that anyway. It is really important. So whether it's part of everyday life in school, or the more standout things like trips and silly dance classes, thanks Mel. It is a special place, and much of that is down to the people that we work with. We see most of you every single day, and that is hugely important to us as individuals. And it's just great being able to turn up and work fundamentally with friends. So thank you for being you. A special mention to Team RS and Humanities, who we spend a lot of our time with, but the rest of you are pretty decent too. Ultimately, you would not be here if we didn't think that was the case. So thank you for all being here today. Of course, in the context of work, it's important to mention Mr. Rab. Mr. Rab, my namesake, you do spell your name incorrectly, so that's wrong. You were able to, with a W by the way, not a U, if anyone's interested, you were able to give a personal touch to our ceremony in true Rab style, and we were absolutely delighted that you were on board for leading us today in what you said. Thank you for everything that you said. There was so many personal aspects to that we weren't aware of. I know we talked about what was happening, but it was great that you were able to say what you did. Thank you also as well on the ceremony note to Vic, Rachel for your readings. It was wonderful that you were able to read as well. And I'm also delighted. Hello there, doing a dance. You're flying. Thank you. Not thank you yet. I'm also delighted that Henry is going to be speaking to us, talking today as well. You are a reassuring constant in both of our lives at work and outside of work as well. So thank you, Henry, for being who you are. Really appreciate you. Now, I mentioned you did. Thank you all for travelling so far and being here. And this leads me on to the last, but absolutely by no means least, my beautiful bride, Mrs. Tate. You look and you are absolutely amazing. You are incredible. Where do I start with what I can say about you as an individual? I remember when we first met, you were this whirlwind of energy coming into the workroom, blasting out the Eagles. You've got rhythm. Always want to get people together, I wanted to be involved in everything that went on in school, whether that was professional things school-wise, or whether that was less professional things socially, you wanted to be involved. I don't think I have known someone to have quite the same FOMO, fear of missing out, before. To be fair, I don't even think I knew what that phrase FOMO meant before I met Becky. And it's through, and despite that, it is genuinely one of the things that I love about you. It is great. The effort that you take for others is something that I am sure everyone in this room will know about. There are other things that not everyone will see. Thoughtful notes or cards for doing things for me when I don't even realise that you've done them, when things might be stressing me out. The things they're like little, I don't know, little birthday things to do lists. 33 things to do in your 33rd year. Some of them were really like proper like sad, but I don't mean that in a bad way. Like people have like said that that's really sad, but it was great. Things to do lists, they're great. The BDLT 10 Commandments, the BTLT 10 Commandments, to encourage a more Zen lifestyle. You did hear that right. BD and a Zen life, easy breezy, yeah. Zen lifestyle. Zen lifestyle. Okay, we'll move on to it. You are genuinely amazing. We have had so many adventures throughout our time together already. They've taken us far afield, so we've got to Canada with Dan, went to Italy to Ben and Katie's wedding. What an amazing time we had there. Moving up Italy towards your wedding. We've been around Scotland. We've got the same zest for life, and we bring out the best in each other. We challenge each other, and I think that is incredibly important. We will tell each other when we think that we are doing things that are wrong, and sometimes that can be fiery. But that is so important to do that. We are similar in so many ways, yet different in ways that complement each other. From the little house jobs to the bigger planning, we make a great team. The planning for today has been epic. You have thrown yourself into doing so many little and large things for our day. Your capacity to just do is second to none, and I really could not have done this without you. Genuinely couldn't. You are? Yeah, they are a little bit, but we're nearly there. I'm on 21 of 22, so don't worry, I'm there. You are able to support and do at the same time, and that is an incredible skill, an incredible asset in a human being. And I couldn't imagine sorting out today without my beautiful bride, BD, and further to that, I couldn't imagine a life without you. You hear people talking about soulmates, and I really feel like we are. We just get each other. We are in sync, we can be silly together, we can talk about serious stuff, we can have great times being busy, we can also just have plans together and just chill out at home. There is never a dull moment when we are together. Thank you for being you. I love you, and I am so proud to now call you my wife, Mrs. Becky Tate.
Becky Tate, that's nice, isn't it? Okay, we're over to Henry now.
Laurence has just been showing DVD since he's Right, I promised I'd keep it brief, and I've never let down in that respect. For those of you sensible enough not to be employed in education, it might be a good time to have a little break. I'll just do this. Here you go. Say what you like about Jim Kelly. Oh, yeah. Wrong speech. Nothing. Well, I'll tell you just a very small portion of things I like about them. They're both very good teachers, absolutely seriously, spot on, great teachers. Both drink prodigiously. Not always a good thing, I know, but it's provides plenty of entertainment to the kids. We've had some allusions to this, but both of them make sounds and or say things. Laurence uses words like away, Newcastle, Bobby Robson, John Linton. He's never too far from a reassuring, certainly in the middle of a sentence or in a sentence. BT, or BT as she is now, she's the go-to person for bells, buzzers, niche capiche, and of course eek and whoop whoop. Which may not have been a factor in our outgoing head teacher cancelling staff briefings. Perhaps even a factor in being outgoing, I'm not sure. Laurence and Becky both work hard and play hard, though it's not known for Becky to lie down in the stock cupboard with only catering quantities of crisps in front of me. And that's happened once or twice. Another remarkable quality of Becky's, which I can't really fathom, is remembering people's birthdays. She knows them all. I've got suspicion she might be secretly keep a little list somewhere. Is that how you do it? Crazy. Recent years they've become homeowners. The fine tradition of humanities teachers, they've got their own special domestic pride and joy. So we've got Mitchell and Rach, got their love bunker. Grace and Rob, we'll see Grace and Rob later. They've got perhaps the finest sex dungeon in Poppy Park. So what have Becky and Laurence got? Well, if you're going to experiment with Appleton in good thought, and William will confirm this point, there only one thing: quite a nice lawn. Insensitive. I've known both Laurence and Becky separately since whenever it was I met them, lots of years ago. And I think they're destined to be together. I'm sure many of you will know the Andy White song, Down the Road. Read the room, Walter, no one knows that song. When it begins, I was walking through a wild moorland borderline town, surely reference to York, but more pertinently, later goes, we hadn't met before, but I always thought we were going to. Well, if you change that a bit, I think it applies to Becky and Laurence. They're two of everyone here's greatest friends. Today, apart from perhaps a little bit of dairy eaten, they make each other complete. That's almost made the cut. Very definitely this order. To Becky and Laurence.
And the last one of this section is over to Becky. Becky, you put it at the end, tell people how long they've got and all the rest of it.
It's about 6 minutes. Oh, not the speech.
For this
The speech is about 6 minutes.
Becky!
Hello everyone, thanks for coming. I wasn't in the speech, but I feel like I know what to say. I've realised now why brides have one hen do, and I'm really sorry for the people that weren't included in any, but I start out by saying I won't have a hen do, and I've ended up with about 10 that didn't include everybody. So I thank those people that were involved and for every single celebration I had, and I'm sorry that they didn't include everyone. So there won't be a next time, but for any future brides out there, just do one and have a good time. I enjoyed all my celebrations. It starts. It's unlike me to want to say a few words, but I thought I would on this occasion. Firstly, I want to start by saying the 30th of July is a very good day for a wedding, and it's actually becoming a bit of a theme in Laurence's house department. Ellis is getting married as we speak. The time that wrong, it's probably more like 2 hours ago. And it's Megan and Dave's wedding anniversary today. So I hope you've had a fab day, and I just want to raise a toast to Megan and Dave. Happy anniversary. I would like to say a big thank you to my dad, or Papa as I say. I know I'm biased, but I think my dad is one of the most genuinely kind and generous men of all time. He's
his love, support and time for all of us, spending many hours volunteering too. I want to say thank you for everything. Thanks for the speech you just did. Thanks for getting my name right. He's constantly got me in my sister once confused in Spurs, but we're there, we're strong. But he's so amazingly strong and so wonderful. And I just wanted to show my friends and family how amazing he is. So I'll give a whoop whoop, you can give a toast. But whoop whoop. I also want to say thank you to my work lad, Henry, who you just heard from. He's helped me an unbelievable amount over the last decade, and I can't imagine my time at Manor without him. He might say the odd offensive comment from time to time, usually counteracted by no offence. Apparently you can say anything to say no offence. And can sometimes make a situation awkward. Well done for the speech though, that was good. But he's also really caring and supportive. He's a great listener and he's funny and full of advice. Although he wouldn't be here today if it was for him, because I actually went to him as a counsel and said, I've fallen in love with Laurence. And he said, no, that's a bad idea. He's got around to it very swiftly, and he realises that I think he was more than going on wrong, Laurence. Stick to the speech. Anyway, we've got Henry's seal of approval, we're good to go. Thank you so much, Henry. You're very, very special in many ways, and you're not allowed to retire for at least another decade. Thank you. Thank you also to Laurence's family. They welcomed me and made me feel part of their family. Jeanette and Tom, we spent so much time with them, and we really love that. We've had fabulous memories with you over the years, whether it be in York or on your holidays. But it's just so great having you nearby, and thank you for everything that you do. And I actually met Vic before me and Laurence were together, and I thought she was so fab that she's down in my tailor's Better Tate. So Better Tate still continues. And I'm so glad that you're now my sister, and I'm really grateful for all the time we've been able to spend together. Lockdown was really special, you being with us, and we really loved that. But all of our time in the last few years, it's been really good, so thank you. I'd love to be able to mention everyone, but I'm sure you might need a wee or want a drink right now. So to all Tates, Maces and Wentworths, I'm really pleased to be officially joining your family. So thank you very much. A special mention to Bex and Jess, two of my bridesmaids. Oh, Summers, I forgot the Summers, I'm really sorry. I went through I thought I'd pass you as Maces. Summers are part of the family too. Extra big special thank you to the Summers. It wasn't anything to moving on. I thought you were Maces. In my head, sorry Neil, I was ignoring your last name there, but you were Maces in my mind. I want to say thank you to Bex and Jess, two of my bridesmaids. Bex, we met in the first year I was at Manor, and when she got over the shock that I wasn't over 30 and over 21, we instantly hit it off. We only actually worked together for 6 months, but since then we've been such good friends. We've travelled to different parts of the world, in the UK and further afield, and so many adventures and many thousands of pictures gets us to where we are today, so thank you. A special mention to Jess, she's one of my oldest school friends. Even though she lives on the other side of the world in New Zealand, we still maintain our friendship. We go months without speaking, or years without seeing each other recently. And as soon as we got together, we can chat for hours over a cup of tea, walking around Guiseley, putting the world to rights. I'm so happy as well looking at, in fact, I don't know if we have actually, it's in my speech, but a photo of me and Jess, because despite being such good friends, we mainly spend our time drinking tea and walking, and we actually have very few selfies, so let's get a special photo today, because all I've got is a handful from Oceania back in the day. Thank you very much, Bex and Jess. I love you lots. Before I speak about LT, and sorry, conciseness is not a strength of mine, I need to mention why to my sis. We've always been so close, as my friends and family can attest to. It's a close relationship, but one that could combust at a moment's notice. But these last 9 months have really changed that, and I've now got closer to her. Not only because you and Maddie brought Libby into our lives, and she's actually the best, isn't she? But because she's just so strong and supportive and so full of love. I don't even know how we used to go weeks without speaking. You just mean everything to me. So thank you to the Bojans for absolutely everything. And tap me. I'd love to mention everyone. I honestly could keep going. So thank you, Rachel, for your musical reading, Sarah for wedding dress shopping, Rich for helping us make various wedding items, Laurence for his fantastic celebrant role, Carol for your endless advice and wise words. And there are honestly so many people I could talk about. I mean, Libby, if you've been with me in the last 8 months, I could definitely talk about Libby all day long. But if you guys ever want, if you guys ever want cake or a wee or a drink, I best go on and speak about LT. So what I will say is you've all been invited for a reason. We really appreciate being here. So excuse me if I haven't mentioned you, but thank you. You really all do mean the world to me. If you did, if I didn't already know LT was looking for me, I certainly did after we met my family. Although I must say, I did a good job to keep LT, as my grandma did a good job of stealing him away from me. Her boyfriend, as she would say. I wish I had a projector to show you them dancing, as it really encapsulates their relationship. My mum absolutely loved Laurence, as with everyone. He had a way to make her smile. It means the absolute world to me knowing that Laurence got my mum's seal of approval, and I know how much she wanted this day to come. Not because I'm psychic, but because she asked him on repeat for 4 years when he was going to put a ring on my finger to get me down the aisle. It's been so difficult losing my grandma and my mum in the last 2 years, but LT has been there for me. Not only with his green fingers and his flower hair, but seriously, when the days were long and times were hard, he was there. I really appreciate his love and his backstrokes. LT, as you know, if you spend any time with him, he's really good at telling bad jokes. No, I don't really mean that. What I mean is he can brighten any room. He's got such a warming influence, and sometimes a much needed calming one too. He's a warming influence. Our friendship sparked as soon as I started in Manor. I mean, perhaps not in week 1. I think my 3rd or 4th impression is probably better than my first. You can ask the table over there who remember my 4-inch floppy heels in year 7 and see what they thought. But when we first met, we spent hours chatting with Fish and Jenny, avoiding work in the workroom, growing a love for soft brown buns and popcorn. Since then, we've always said we were in sync. So apologies if there's any repetition in our speeches today. It's perhaps a cheesy element of our relationship, not only the classic 90s tunes that we love, that we often come up with the same sentences at the same time. We have lots of similarities which make us work well. However, perhaps it's our relationship makes us tick the most because of our differences. I am the macro and he is the micro, we start to say. I deal with the big plans and the day-to-day whereabouts. A job LT wishes I would relinquish a little bit when we have 5 plans a day, but I make up for it at dinner time. And then LT sorts out that daily basis, his routines, general pottering. Boy, he does love a potter. And I perhaps don't say it enough, but I really do appreciate everything you do. I love how Laurence has a successful life and likes to join me in new adventures and exciting outgoings. Except for when he nearly turned down his cheering tickets that my brother Adam kindly gave to us recently because he had to put a wash on. But
true story.
It's a true story. Carol was outraged. No, seriously, we like to enjoy life and make the most of it. Some would even say we like to live life to the full. We've even been fortunate to go to many places and already had some epic memories, and today is just a special example of that. As you know, I'm described as easy breezy. But there are occasions where I might need a little calming, and Laurence is just perfect for this. Whether it's a glance across the room or a squeeze of the knee, he's the person I need when things get tense. Although my tone of voice perhaps isn't always saying that at the moment. It's his caring side that I love the most. Blueberries is often referred to. Having a strong love for family and certainly wearing his emotions on his sleeve. I mean, you have to be made of steel not to cry at DIYs events, don't you? But it's his caring side that shines through and that my mum saw from the very first time she met him. And I know our Laurence certainly appreciates this side too. I really could go on in the evening about why we're here today and how much I love LT, but I won't. I'm excited for our life ahead and being Mrs. K. So here's the adventures to come and the love we have. Cheers everyone. Now I have a To one piece for now maybe, because we're not sure how far it'll go. And we're going to get a little drink, toilet if you need, and we're going to come back in 15 minutes for the groomsmen speeches. If anyone's got a sweepstake, I would stop it, because any runners and cyclists know it's now ready for go. Thank you.
Those among you who know Becky will know she is a wonderful person who deserves a good husband. Thankfully, Laurence married before she found him. No, genuine of course, Laurence is an absolute gem. A man with strong morals who does not always live up to them himself. He is one of the most genuine guys out there, and I'm very happy he and Becky have found each other. This is not the only time I've flown back from halfway across the world for Laurence's wedding. I have to say, I thought it was pretty inconsiderate of things to give such short notice of the change of plans last time. Still waiting on a refund for the first ticket. I moved to Vancouver over 7 years ago, and I have to say that we remain good friends, and I've always made an effort to catch up with each other whenever I'm back. In fact, as mentioned, Laurence and Becky came to stay with me in Vancouver for a week in 2018. Which was only the second time I've met Becky, so it was a good time for us to get to know each other. On their last day in Vancouver, we drove north for 2 hours to a mountain bike village called Whistler, where they rented some bikes so I could show them the local mountain bike trails. By the end of the day, Becky had been in tears at least once, and I had managed to break my wrist, so all in all, it was a pretty good bonding experience. For such a lovely guy, Laurence attracts a lot of brand admiration. In the line of the bus groomsmen and the groom, all drunk, innocent, and covered in talcum powder, Laurence will always be the one who attracts the attention of the guy hell-bent on headbutting someone because we were playing busted too loud. But he always takes it like a champ, although I'm not sure what lesson there is to be learned there. When I'm out visiting the part of the world, I always look forward to going for a gym with Katie. I've never known a person to change so dramatically after a certain point in the night, from a sociable, chatty, enthusiastic about life guy to a complete powered down, drunk, lost of a man. And as always hilarious. 5 minutes prior. True then. 5 minutes prior, you could have been discussing the intricacies of 12th century Scandinavian poetry, or what flavour of crisps to get from a bar next. And then all of a sudden the glazed look passes over his eyes, and that's him done for the night. But he will never complain or ask to go home, just sit slumped and half conscious in the corner, or stand swaying in the haze. It's quite beautiful to behold. And if by some unfortunate chance that drunken haze was to combine with another unnamed member of the groomsmen party, and a packet of Monster Munch at 2 AM, then, well, some things will never be forgotten. It's going to be there. Anyhow, I'll keep it short and sweet, as there are 3 more of us to go, and I'm not really wanting too many words, but I'm delighted to be here today and see you guys looking so happy together, and I wish you both all the best for many years ahead.
Benjamin Bailey.
Just before I get going on Laurence, I just want to say Becky, what a bride. Yeah! I mean, you're absolutely lovely today. Okay, that dress is amazing. But more importantly, what I love about this and why I guess I love and respect about you and admire actually, is just how much effort you put into everything. And I actually think today is quite a testament to you. I look around and I just notice that you all over. Okay? And I think it's just absolutely superb. What I do love as well is that everybody here kind of sees it, loves it, respects it, and there's a real key point to me, which is, I wish I could read my notes actually, that would make it a lot easier, wouldn't it? But I think it's quite a special quality, because what you do is it's quite selfless, and it's quite clear that you kind of put everything into things, everybody else just gets to kind of experience it, so thank you for that. And so I'll say a quick cheers to everybody, and please today for the beautiful bride. So Laurence, you and I, we've known each other for about 25 years. We started in 7HC together, you know, little 11-year-olds. I mean, to be fair, I was kind of little,
these guys are kind of the lanky friends that I've got to. But, you know, we've always kind of been quite close. We've always shared quite a few things. We've got a lot of shared passions and loves. You know, I could start with football, which is quite clear. I could start with music. You know, you're a great piano player. Me, not quite so much. I could also kind of say you've got a shared love of history. I think we kind of enjoyed quite a few classes together. We've also kind of got a shared love of girlfriends as well. We might share one or two in the past as well. Not together. But I will go into girlfriends in a little bit. There's one that kind of comes to mind particularly, you know, we're talking kind of like, you know, secondary school age. And the girl I want to talk about is Sarah King. Oh, good. Sarah King was kind of Laurence's girlfriend when we were 14-ish, I think. And there's only one particular memory that kind of comes to mind when I think about Sarah King, really special girl. Valentine's Day, Laurence and Sarah probably go out for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. And Sarah, being the special girl that she is, you know, gets a Valentine's Day present. That present happens to be kind of a donut-shaped soap, which is used for your willy. It's actually used for your willy. It's there as a willy washer, though some might say it's also there as kind of like maybe kind of an erotic stimulus. And I think the problem I've got with this is I just wasn't sure what Sarah bought it for. And I kind of have to think it might because Laurence has got a bit of a smelly willy. I've never got an answer to that. But what I would say, Becky, is we had this 20 years ago, Jeanette. Let's also sort of finish, okay? But this was 20 years ago. This was 20 years ago. I like to think Laurence probably has cleaned up that. But Becky, what I'm going to say is, I'll make contingency plans. You go have a look on the table, you know, where the kind of presents are. You will find a donut-shaped present, you know, from yours truly. I'm doing this for you. You can use it whichever one you want. But just know from me to you guys that I kind of, you know, I've got the best interest at heart. So, thanks, Ben. You're off. I'll give you a fair example. I've got some nice stuff about you as well. Proper downstairs. Laurence was actually our football captain when we were younger. Laurence was a fantastic player. You know, once upon a time, you know, you look at it now, okay, you might think, not quite the most athletic, but rude. Are you going to challenge me and say, what the truth, or keep going? Okay, thank you. So what I would say is, once upon a time, you were fabulous. You know, you were a bit of a titan within our sport. You know, this guy used to run 100 metres in, I'm going to say, 11.4 seconds. Close? 6. Okay. That was all. But anyway, he was the fastest guy in our school, you know, phenomenally quick, you know, and he used to take that into kind of the football field as well. You know, one of his favourite things was, you know, he'd let people run past him. You know, run past him, kind of chuck them off a little bit, tackle them, and then almost kind of give them a little bit of a side look and say, you know, there is no chance you go past me. But what this also kind of, you know, Laurence, because he was our captain, you know, he was just a fantastic leader that we all kind of got to love and appreciate, and he's got some really special qualities when he does that. You really got to put it into context with the players he's playing with as well. So you're looking at some of the members of the illustrious Wolfer team here. You've got Matthew Scott, aka the Bat. He had a very special quality called sonar in terms of how you save the ball, but you know, you were really effective, so I'll give you two. You got Robin over here. He was kind of called God. I don't think any of us know particularly why he was called God. But, you know, he's got a massive ego, so it's probably explains it. And then you've probably got myself. Now, I kind of thought of myself as a bit of a maverick player. You know, I used to think I could just beat everybody on things. Thought of myself as kids, as you were. However, the kind of reality is, actually, I kind of have more hair than vision. So, you know, I just didn't want to pass to anybody. I wasn't interested particularly in being part of the team. And I think that's kind of where I'm going with this. Laurence actually is, you know, he's a team player. He's such a good leader. He does it kind of quietly and authoritatively. And he really sort of brings out the best qualities in everybody. And I guess there's a like message here that school reasons I love you now. But what you did is you took us all, you know, we're a ramshackle bunch of, well, we're obviously friends, you know, it's a team in this kind of context. And you really sort of brought the best of us And to be fair, you know, this sort of sums you up. One of the main reasons that we all love you, I think, because your qualities and what you bring, whether it's, you know, being a team player, bringing out the best in your friends, okay, you bring out the best in everybody around you, and we just love you for it, pal. So I just want to kind of wrap it up here and just say, I love you, guys. I really hope that
I didn't hear any of that at the end.
That's all right. That was back in. I wanted to shut up. I wanted to wrap it, and I'm going to hand over to Mr. Scott. So thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Ben. Over to me, and then it's Robin, and then you can get a drink. Okay. So I thought about what I'm going to do for a speech. I went to Jeanette, Laurence' lovely mum, and I said, please could I have some old school reports, ideas, material from primary school, secondary school, linked to the fact that he's a teacher. What I found from those school reports was about 7,000 swimming badges, which basically said he was quite good at swimming, tons of certificates to say he could play the cornet and various other things, and then some really nice reports as well. I'll go through them a little bit. So, primary secondary school reports, but it lacked material. The problem is he's just too much of a bloody nice guy. There isn't a great deal in there. And apart from, I mean, I thought about making this a comment. Laurence can easily be distracted, but which guy from the 90s didn't get that written in their report? You know, we all had that. So I didn't think I could make a lot out of it. However, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use some bits. So I changed tactic, but before I change tactic, I'm going to read a little bit from when he left his primary school. He was originally at Heworth, I found, I didn't realise that. And then he went to Hempland, is that right? Yeah. It's really difficult because it's incredibly spindly writing. I'll give it a go.
That's your council report then.
So, my greatest pleasure with regard to Laurence's progress this year has been to see the way he has matured in personality over the year. This has resulted in a growth in self-confidence and associated improvements in all areas of his work. Academically, he is very able, and I am certain that he will make the most of this in his involvement in school. Sorry, he made the most of this. His involvement in the school production and his brilliant playing of Albert is testimony to his self-confident manner. Laurence has been a pleasure to teach, and I wish him every success in the future. From, I can't read that name, Mr. Callington?
Mr. Callington.
Mr. Callington, there you go, Callington. So I'm sure he'd be proud to see you here today. I'm conscious of my own reputation, which you mentioned before, which is basically, for my wedding, I was really, really nice to everybody. I thanked everybody, and it took absolutely ages. Or for Ben's wedding, I brutally mocked him, and it took absolutely ages. So I'm going to try and get the balance right. I've also got a reputation for bad poetry, so I'm going to stick with that and go with a bit of bad poetry, figure out. I spent my life with obviously my two children, which are here now. And any parents out there, give us a woo? A little digress, but you know when you read into, I read a couple of storybooks before you go to bed, if you read one that's rhyming, and then you read the second one that's not rhyming, you make the second one rhyme because you just read the first one that rhymes. So my life is just one big rhyme now, which is why I've decided to do with poetry. Have we got any English teachers in here? Yes, Rachel. Beautiful poet. Okay, put your green or purple pen away, because I'm going to give this a go. I'm a science teacher, and the most creative thing I've done recently is algebra. So don't judge me, or judge my wife, because she helped me with it. So she's not here. So, and then I'll finish with a little bit of Laurence' school report. went to my phone. Are you ready? The poem is called Laurence, I Love You. Laurence, I love you. Laurence, I love you. Laurence, I love you. Rachel, what do you think I'm trying to send? What message do you think I'm trying to send from that intro to this poem? Thank you. That's the majority of our lives we spent together, yeah, exactly. I was expecting to say the fact that I used a tercet stanza was pretty impressive. Because the rest of the poem, which if you want to get a signed copy of the poem, you'll see that the rest of the poem is actually in quatrains. So, okay, we'll go on. The lack of laughter shows the lack of academic intelligence in this room. I googled that before, okay. Okay, so it's a poem about Laurence, and Laurence, I love you. Remember that, because it's really important. I love it. I'm sure, like me, you all will know, when all is said and done, the job of being a best man is not an easy one. So please be kind and gentle, and do give me a chance, while I give you all some lessons about our lovely Laurence. Thank you. I've got the brand spin in capitals to really emphasise. I know some of you are wondering, gosh, who is this lyrical master? And the rest of you are thinking, this is heading for fucking disaster. We'll start with lesson number 1. What is that I hear? Laurence always falls asleep after far too little beer. I think we've all heard from Dan already what that is all about, so I don't really need to, Dan explained it beautifully. Drunk plus for a man, absolutely perfect. So there's not a lot else to say on there. Or maybe you're waiting for, maybe what you're waiting for is lesson number 2. Laurence has no shame when it comes to an alfresco poo. Do you want to explain that one once?
You did that at my 18th, so you don't.
I was the first person to pass my test. We went to Brimham Rocks. It was an epic day. We went climbing and all the rest of it. Laurence, in Laurence's way, felt he needed the toilet, and the size of the thing was incredible. These tables would struggle to hold it. It was amazing. There's an apple tree right there now. Now you're getting to know the real Laurence. You can learn lesson number 3. It's a shame whenever you invite him around, he doesn't know where to wee. There's a problem here, isn't there? There's a lot of different... I think we've all got a story about this, let's be honest. So, my mattress has never been the same. Dan's sock drawer has never been the same either. Okay, I mean, I think we all, if you invite him around, put him in the bathroom and lock the door, or make sure you put some plastic on the mattress. But what about lesson number 4, and you think he's so polite? It's where you find out how much this teacher loves a fight. He's a teacher, he's a stand-up guy, he's amazing. Laurence stands up in the face of discrimination, and he stands up to anybody that's being got at. What's the word? Any kind of persecution, yeah. So he stands face to face with it, and then generally after he gets headbutted. But he's a great guy. He's the one that attracts all the attention. He's got a false tooth because of it. But what a great guy. I'll come to the nice part. I know you've all just eaten, and I hate to put you off. Let's just say lesson 5 involves mushroom stroganoff. A little story. We went to the Lake District, the youth hostel at Ambleside, beautiful flock goes out to the lake. We were 16 years old, we couldn't drive. We had my brother's IDs to make sure that we could get drinks. We had a lovely night. We'd been to a lovely place called Zeffirelli's. I did a pizza. We'd all eaten lots of food. Laurence, for some reason, chose a mushroom stroganoff. Later that night, after about 3 Fosters, we went back to the room. Laurence decided he couldn't make it down the corridor quite a way to the toilet and decided to be sick in the sink. But he barely chewed his food, so all the mushrooms just clanked it up. Clamped it up, he didn't do anything about it, he just got straight back into bed, left it. Next morning, flies everywhere, stinking out the place, brown, grey, mushroom stroganoff in the basin of the sink, and he's there, he's got to deal with it, and he's there just like prodding away, trying to get it down the sink. Great guy, great guy. I wouldn't say Laurence is indecisive, or maybe I would, I'm not sure. Lesson number 6 shows us he probably is. Yes? No? Maybe? I don't know anymore. Laurence has a scale of decisiveness, which is, I think, probably why we say he's with Becky, because she's so decisive, so brilliant, and just basically said, yeah, we're doing that. But Laurence's beautiful thing is, he's like, yes, I'm very really decisive. It's, yeah, definitely that. And then like 2 minutes later, it's like, yeah, but what about this, Laurence? He's like, maybe, probably. Yeah, and then another couple of his, but Laurence, if we do that, then we do that, and then that won't work. And he goes, oh, probably not, it probably doesn't work. So if you ever notice that, enjoy. So lesson number 7 is about our time as flatmates. Well, it would have been just us if it wasn't for all the dates. I mean, it was a little reference to the fact that his ex-girlfriends and people and all the rest of it. I mean, we've got a group of friends, we've all had shared interests at times, let's be honest. Probably Robin's the most, anyway. But you know the little area out there, 9:30, if you fancy a little bit more info, I'll tell you out there, okay? Because we'll leave it for now, because it's there.
It's alright, you're not allowed outside, you've got to be dancing, so don't worry about it, it's fine.
Becky, I don't envy you living with him, although the memories for me are quite hazy. Lesson number 8 for everyone is that Laurence is fucking lazy. Oh, how dare you? Is it? It's a joke, just like the fact it rhymes with Daisy. But it is a little bit real. He's the guy that goes, I'll do it tomorrow, and Becky's the girl that goes, I'll do it today, and I'm the guy that would go, just like Becky, I'll do it today. Which can be a little bit frustrating sometimes, but absolutely not. He's actually, what he teaches us, people like me and Becky maybe more, he teaches us to just chill out a bit, which is a great quality and great skill. So there you go.
Turned it around then.
I did, thank you. Now it's time for me to take this poem in a new direction. I feel it's important to give you all some positive and warm reflection. This feels pretty awful. I'm not keen on being so nice. Come on, Scotty, I hear you say, give us a bit more spice. I'm not sure I'm getting away with that too. This verse is quite random and something you might not know. Laurence has this weird thing. He commentates on Pro Evo. He's a great guy. This is the nice bit. Which 15-year-old boy who's playing Pro Evo with his mates goes, you know what, guys? It's okay. You can play, and I'll just sit and commentate on what you're doing. What the hell? Like, who is this? It shows the testament of the man. And why not just not great thing? With my children, Betty and Wendy, you always love to dance, making them laugh and giggle and playing silly pranks. When the time comes, my friend, you'll be an absolutely awesome daddy. You always put the extra effort in. Love you, you're great. You're like an Uncle Laurence. I'm looking forward to that moment for you guys. I mustn't forget to mention the most important person, the bride. Sorry, my phone went sideways. I mustn't forget to mention the most important person, the bride. Doesn't she look beautiful? Laurence, you're beaming with pride. It's important that today is not just about these two, it's about the people sat around them, because they are the glue. And I think, you guys have already said it, I don't need to reiterate it, but Tom, Jeanette, amazing people. We love you. We've always loved you. Being mates with you, Laurence, and with you. Keith, tell you what, if you want to see a fantastic video of the stag do with Keith on it, oh my gosh, amazing, what a guy. So thank you, Keith. And everybody here, I won't thank you all individually like I did in my wedding, but you're all brilliant. You helped make these guys who they are. You are the glue. Don't worry, I've only got 2 more buses. So I'll just say, you are an awesome mate. I'm proud and glad to say I've shared so many great memories with you, including this wonderful day. So let's raise a glass to this happy pair, beginning their married life, as partners, best friends, soulmates, as husband and wife. And my final thing is just to read out the final report from Laurence as he left school, Fulford School, because it hit me. It was like, wow, what a report, written by somebody who knows how to write, as opposed to me, by Mr. Birch. Who was an English teacher, which is pretty impressive compared to me. Laurence is bright and extremely conscientious. He is highly industrious and utterly reliable. He possesses a wonderful sense of humour and is well respected by both staff and peers. His opinions carry weight in all areas. Laurence is a very committed student whose enthusiasm and hard work have been realised in his rapidly developing abilities. His attitude is exemplary. He is a student of great integrity and strength of character, who has a mature outlook and a clear desire to succeed. Laurence's non-academic activities are extensive and has a heavy bias on sports and athletics. Not only is he a keen player, but he's a skilled organiser of sports teams. Laurence is one of the most dependable, conscientious and likeable students one could hope to meet. Given his remarkable personal qualities, I'm sure that he will secure a very bright future for himself. I think that says it all. Laurence!
Yes, one more time for Matthew Scott! It's lovely to be here at the wedding of BDSM, really great to meet you guys. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing it, but it is now it's BTLT, which just makes me think of a BLT. And both things, Laurence, made me think of your sandwich. Hello, boom, just a little horrible joke for you there. And when I first met Laurence, it was 1997. We weren't always dressed like this. Laurence and I were dressed, probably on our first date, Umbro backpacks, and just really buzzing for the release of the Kit Kat Chunky, which was just around the corner, very freaking pumped for that. What a year excitement. But Laurence and I actually, our friendship triumphed against adversity. Welcome all the people, hello there. Hi, yes, until you little wave. Welcome, glamorous person. You look like a very glamorous librarian. Hello, welcome, whoever that person is. Absolutely dashing, great to see you. I'm going to stop just shouting random names at people as they walk in, but it really is great to see you all. Okay, where the hell am I? Yeah, Laurence and I, we triumphed against adversity because it was very difficult. We actually were living with a partition when we met in year 7. Laurence and I are actually split into different halves of the year. Oh, yeah. Which was very difficult for us. Fulford School had a very kind of East and West Berlin moment, and never the two shall meet. But we did eye each other up across the football pitch, and actually at school, Laurence and I were actually mistaken for each other very often on the football pitch. We were told to have the same body type. At this point in 2022, I'm having the same body. Oh, that's just cut out. Oh, hello, no matter. Having the same body type as Laurence now would be a great compliment to me. Laurence would be a great compliment. You still look very athletic. I have actually wanted to lose about 3 stone, but I didn't want to chop my knob off. Am I right, guys? It's a little dick I can put you there. Hello. There will be possibly one more dick joke again. I believe that. So yes, we did a little bond over football, different iterations of it. Pro Evolution Soccer, Chapman. Actual playing of football, apart from Dan, just stayed at home stroking his gecko, and that is not a euphemism. He literally had a gecko called Pepsi, and he also masturbated a lot. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one there. But Laurence is a man who is very willing to intervene in conflicts. In year 8, he intervened on behalf of Sam Shelton, just a guy that we sort of knew, and a guy 2 years above had been accused of trying to get off with his girlfriend. So Laurence volunteered to fight this guy on behalf of Sam Shelton. Kind of like like a mercenary, or an incredibly violent, action-based vicar. Quite puritanical moral code. Or perhaps so he kind of stood in the playground, I think got this guy in the headlock, then was pulled away by his ear. And I love that face for Laurence. Mr. Walkington pulled you away by your ear. And Laurence was very much a kind of, I think a mercenary is not really accurate because he didn't do it for money, he just did it on hard moral principle. So he's very much the Tony Blair of Harvard School. He was just willing to get involved in military interventions that had nothing to do with him, because he believed it was the right thing to do. So, I'm not going to turn this into a political rally, by the way. I am actually obsessed with Tony Blair. He really was quite amazing. And I wish he had ruled for 1,000 years. Okay. But underneath this kind of willingness to just jump in on a kind of matter of principle, we all know that Laurence, underneath, deep down, is a massive softie. Lawrence, I can testify as well from the youth hospital trip, also has a massive softie. I've actually seen that myself. Okay, that's the last picture. That is the last picture. No. Since that horrible Berlin Wall came down in year 9, we were able to sit next to each other, Lawrence, in all seriousness. You're such a tender, passionate, smart, curious person. We really love you for it. And when Laurence gets drunk, two things happen. Well, a few things happen. One of it, he's always at risk of falling asleep. His dance comes out. We love Lawrence's dance. The overemphasis of the click. The walk, like a kind of scally Freddie Mercury, kind of like this. We like that. And another thing's happened. I know Laurence is drunk because I often get texts from him saying, "Oh, I love you, mate," and or just a hand on the shoulder as he leads into the group and starts dancing and says, "I love you guys." We love you too, Laurence. And if it isn't too kind of difficult for you to change the tone from relentless adult humour to have a very sincere moment, we're so proud of you. It's so nice to see you here today. And I said that we sat next to each other in history. That's really where we bonded. And obviously you lost your dad, Steve, at a young age, and we were so proud of how you dealt with that. And I think I was reflecting on us all as a group, and I think that really bonded us, and it was really so important to us. And it was so important as a young teenager to see how dignified and how beautifully you guys held yourselves there. And going on in life, with all the many griefs and sorrows of life, that really taught me so much about how to deal with hardship and how much love there can be in situations like that. So thank you for that. And we were there for you then, I hope, Laurence, in some ways, and I hope we'll be there for both of you in the future. And Becky, it's such a pleasure to see someone so smart, beautiful and intelligent marrying our wonderful friends. So to the future, good luck, we love you, and thank you very much. Cheers. And
the mic was going to get passed back to me, but it's 7:30, bang on time. Willow, how long were the speeches? 1 hour 27, sorry about that, guys. We did have a break, evening guys, we did have a break in there. The first dance will commence in about 10 minutes time. Get to the bar, get to the dance floor. Over and out. Thanks for the Christmas speeches, and all the speeches, and for Wimbledon Day. I love you all. Come closer, feel the love. Come closer. Scoot on in. Scoot on in. Willow, get yourself closer. Get yourself to the dance floor. Ralph, I see you. I see you. Dan. Emily. Tasker. Get yourself to the dance floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not every day you have a power cup before a first dance, but here we are. Can we welcome to the dance floor, the wonderful Mr. and Mrs. Tate. Do you hear me talking to you across the water, across into the blue ocean, under the open sky? Oh my, oh baby, I'm trying. Boy, I hear you in my dreams, feel you whisper across the seas, keep you with me in my heart. You make it easier when life gets hard. Lucky I'm in love with my best friend. Lucky to have been where we have been. Lucky to be coming home today. They don't know how long it takes waiting for a love like this. Every time we say goodbye, I wish we had one more kiss. Everybody join! Lucky I'm in love with my best friend. Lucky to have been where we have been. Lucky to lucky we're love in every way. Lucky to stay where we have stayed. Lucky to be coming home today. And so I'm sailing through the sea to an island where there's so many, you're all I see. And as the world keeps spinning round, you hold me right here, right now. Oh my God, that was
I'm shaking up, baby.